Um, I have to carry headpan, take Malta, and all those. It got to a point I even got to know how to lay bricks. That was within a year. So when we had a telegram, those days it was telegram. Somebody would bring it, they write 1 or 2 words on it. And I was told my uncle says I should come to Accra. I was so happy. I have to come and help for about a year. And I had to write late entrance to get into a school. I quite remember when some of the questions they asked for gospels. Me, I didn't know what was gospel. I was sitting down there, a gentleman looked at me, the one who was invigilating said, "You don't go to church." I just looked at him. I couldn't even speak English, so it was a bit difficult for me. I found myself those days in the commercial school, and when I got in there were these ladies, they were speaking very good English. I do understand them, but I can't say anything. You know, sometimes when they bring conversation, I'll just keep quiet. I told myself I would want to learn. And I must say that at the end of the year, secondary school, I was the school prefect. When I had done the O-levels, I realized that situation at home, if I want to continue my education, it was going to be a bit difficult. But my teachers were asking that I should try and continue, but that wasn't, So we had, those days, people would come looking for students to work with. I had opportunity for to attend an interview, and I was picked. So I started working, and I decided that I would continue to study. Fast forward, had an employment with Ghana Tourist Board by then as a stenographer secretary. And from then on, I continued with my studies. At the point I had to stop it. After having 3 children, I enrolled at Accra Polytechnic to go and study. So you can imagine having 3 children, staying around Adenta, coming to school in the campus here. It wasn't a joke. I didn't have a vehicle by then. So in the afternoon, I would just take my bag. I asked for study leave. I couldn't get it. So I have to combine my studies with work and taking care of 3 children. That did not, deter me. I moved on. So at the end of the day, I left the Ghana Tourism Authority after serving them for about 24 years as administrative officer. And then I joined the Association of Rural Banks, Ghana. That was quite difficult because from tourism industry to banking. But I told myself, no, that's a challenge, let me take it up. So I went in there, and even there, I was engaged as an administrative officer or administrative secretary. And I had to learn, because this is a new environment. As I'm speaking with you, even getting a file to study was a problem. So all that I could do, what helped me was that the operations director who was handling certain issues at the board level would go for a meeting and would bring the minutes for me to type because he couldn't use the computer very well. So I had the opportunity of knowing exactly what was happening within the establishment. And that was where, I had to learn. It was a bit difficult, but that is how I started over there. Do we continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. I must be honest, for about 16 years while I was there, it was tough. You are in an institution, you will not be given anything to do. You have to fish for information yourself. You have to create work for yourself. And sometimes you are even told that you are subordinate. Excuse me to say, maybe even a cleaner is better than you yourself. Sometimes they call a meeting. We've taken this schedule, we've given it to excuse me to say, a messenger, we have given it today, and you'll be in your office, this person will come and demand your key for your cabinet. So when you need something, you have to call that person to come and open the cabinet in your own office for you to be able to get something to work. If you should get in there and you see me, hello, you will greet me. By the time you leave that office, you wouldn't want to see my face. So board comes, board goes, and nobody will want to listen to you. Sometimes it was so depressing that when I get home, my husband will ask me that I should leave the job and come home. I told myself, no. God might have a purpose of bringing me in here. And until I fulfill that purpose, until I achieve that aim, I wouldn't leave. So no matter what, I'll go in there. So I stayed on. And unfortunately, or as God may have it, that's how I may put it, I felt sick. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And honestly, I felt that was the end of my life so far as that institution or that office was concerned, even my life in general. I had to go through, for 8 months I had been going around to the hospitals and they couldn't tell me. At the end of the day, when they detected that it was breast cancer, it was around 8 months. And it was getting to stage 3+. It was stage 3+, getting to stage 4. And I felt my end had come. I was just told that at that stage, they have to take off one of my breasts. I mean, I have to go through a mastectomy. And it wasn't easy. If I had even stayed in the house for all these things to have happened to me, that would have been okay. But here was I going around looking for solution, mammogram, everything. And, so that is it. So I had to go in for it. And to be honest with you, for about 1.5 years, I couldn't even go to the office because I had to go through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and then the surgery. And if I go for the chemo and I come, I pray, and I always tell myself that I wouldn't want any woman to go through this kind of situation. And at a point, I have to get some drugs. That was, I think, one vial was 6,800. I needed 18. Oh yes, every 3 weeks, that was for only one drug. And you go and come, you can't even get up. I can't even walk from here to this, and because your heart will be beating. Sometimes when they take me from Kolebu, we get here, I say, oh, take me to Reed. From Reed, I'll ask you to take me to 37 before I get to Adenta, because I knew I was going to die. At the end of the day, the very day that I felt the following morning I was going to go to the office.
Recording in progress.
My director had come. Normally they come and you see me lying on the sofa because I can't even get up and walk. This time he saw me coming from the bedroom. Apparently the board had decided that if I'm not able to come to work again, then that should be the end. So he should come and give me that information. I think he couldn't even deliver the letter. And then he went back and I told him, I'll be coming on Monday. So I called on Monday that I was coming, and they called me back that I should wait. It's in December, so that I should come back in the January. So I reported. Honestly, if you saw me at that time, one of our directors, a female director, just called me, Comfort, do you think you can work again? And I said, yes, by God's grace, I'll be able to work. I have my doubts. Because you look at me and you could see that this woman is sick. How can she work with this volume of work? No, I said I will work. So I started. And I think that I came back and being able to push forward, I was promoted to an administrative manager. Then it got to a point I had to take every responsibility because those ahead of me were gone. We brought in a director and he just told me, Madam, it is you who will do the work. As for me, so in course of time, we were going to have a program internally. I had instituted the Rural Banking Award, and we're going to have the first one in our biennial conference. And normally as women, when you get to the meeting, they will tell you, you take care of food, you take care of this, you take care of this. Even those ones were not given to me. But the board chair looked at it and said, on this sheet, even accommodation and food is being taken care of by men. Why? We have only women here, can't she do that? So I was assigned the responsibility to take care of food and accommodation. And we had a program at UDS conference at that time. And when I went in there, I realized I had to do more than food, more than accommodation and other things. So when they came and the conference had started and everything, they realized that no, this woman is being underutilized. Immediately after the conference, they held a council meeting and I was promoted to Assistant Executive Director. They even did that promotion in Tamale before we go back to Accra. Yeah. So when we came back, I had to take, we had another director who was not ready. There was a bit of challenge. So the council decided that the very day we had an executive committee meeting, he said he was sick, he didn't come. The next month, it was postponed to the next month. And the next month, that very day, he tendered his resignation letter. So still everything fell on me. Even then, the council were not ready to accept that I could do the work, even though they could see I was doing the work. These are some of the challenges. So I was there when I was asked to go out. And I had a recorded, a tool recording the meeting. They asked, one of them got up and asked, President, you said that the director has not been coming to work, he has not been doing his job, so all along who has been doing the work? It's Madam. Who? Auntie Comfort. So what do you think that she will not be able to do the work? Then others brought their views. It was very pathetic. A woman, what can she do? And we need a man who is strong, who is this, who is that. I heard all the recording later. And then I think about 5 of them got up. Our council, we were about 19, including myself. He said, no, let's allow the woman to act. And after acting, we'll be able to know whether you'll be able to take the challenge or not. So they called me back and they told me that I should act as an executive director for the association for 3 months. Then the legal advisor got up. Auntie Comfort, all along, it's men who have been handling this place. You are a woman. We are giving you this responsibility. We are expecting you to, work harder. We are expecting more from you. I sat down and I asked myself, men have been handling this place 40 years. The whole place was really coming down. And you asked me, a woman, to take responsibility. And you are telling me that you are expecting more than you expected from the men. My sisters, do you really? I didn't understand. So I realized that no, this is a challenge that has been given to me, and I need to put them right. I need to let them know that even though I'm a woman, I'm also a human being like a man. I have that sense that the man has, and I'll be able to deliver with the help of God. So I prayed. And 3 months later, when they came for a meeting, one of them went out and he came back. Hey! Mumro, say me money don't be yesika. I just kept quiet because the environment itself wasn't good. And I had to quickly put things together to be able to, sometimes when somebody even came to visit, if you want to come and visit, I'll tell you I wouldn't be in the office. Because I realized that no, a lot of things need to be put in place. And by God's grace, I started doing that. And I also realized that people even didn't know what was Association of Rural Banks. When you call, they tell you Apex Bank. But it's the association that established, with the help of Bank of Ghana and Ministry of Finance, established the ARB Apex Bank. So the ARB Apex Bank plays the technical role like you're doing here, and the association plays the advocacy role. But people even did not know. So I needed to do a lot of image enhancement. I needed to propagate the gospel of the rural banks, the association. And I must say that within no time, the association had come to some level of recognition. I quite remember even when I attended our annual, we have 147 rural banks with 800 agencies. And our employment rate is about 15,000 for direct employment. So we do a lot. And if I had to attend an annual general meeting, I'll be there, and then they call the representation from Apex Bank. And he will deliver his address, and I'll be sitting down. So at the end of the day, getting to the close of the day, I'll just get there, and they say, I'm also around. Can I have a word? Before you are allowed to speak. But it got to a point, after speaking, another CEO will say that, Madam, please, we need you for our AGM. Madam, please, we need you for our AGM. So it got to a point at the end of the day, by the end of the month, you have about 20 banks requesting you to attend their AGM. And some will say that if you can't come, please do some recording for us. Because you get in there are some challenges with the shareholders, and you need to go in and speak out. You need to intervene, and then you have some amicable solution. So everybody will want you to be there. A woman who cannot speak, a woman who is classified as not be able to do anything, you realize that now everyone is seeking for you. Then you ask yourself, what do I have? What does it mean? So, am I this person at all? And that wasn't alone. A whole lot of things that I had to do. And even confirming me was a bit, after the 3 months, was a bit difficult. Even though they realized you were doing the job, some were skeptical. They still felt that, no, I think we needed a man for this position. And God also used others. Said, no, let's look at what the lady is doing, and let's do that. And the president by then was leaving and said, no, I want to make sure that this lady is confirmed before I leave. And he did that. That is how I became the executive director, and I had to move on. So.
Thank you very much, Auntie Comfort, if I can call you Amanda.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. And for me, there are a few things I've learned. I just want to rehash a few things. As women, it won't be the walk in the park. In everything you do, it won't be a walk in the park. You need to show resilience. You need to work 2 times harder than the men. But you see, she said something. She said that at a point, they guessed that at a point it was guessed that the guys were really squandering their cash. But women, we put money to a lot of use. MD, this, you are not here. That's by the by. But as women, we do not have to give up. Listening to her story, breast cancer, 3 kids, have to combine schooling with work, had to take care of her home, and she was still having issues in the office, but she was very resilient. Made sure that what she wanted was what she was going to get. So she worked hard at it. Lessons: we do not have to give up. We must show resilience in all spheres of life. And God, who rules in the affairs of men, will always send an angel to look out for you. It is always there. God will always send an angel to look out for you, to protect you. So we are never alone. Let's get this and work hard at it. Those of us who say, for us women, we have targets, they are too huge, we can't do this, I have to pick my kids from school and the rest. It is not that difficult. People have done it. You and I, we don't have cancer. She had, and she went through it. So let's work hard at it. Nothing is too tough. Let's work hard at it. Okay, thank you. With that said,
I think to add a little to it, you are talking about resilience. And as she said, we have children. I have to take my child to hospital today. All these things are there. At a point, I had 3 girls, and all of them got sick at the same time. And for almost 2 years, the hospital could not Kolebu, they could not tell what exactly was wrong with the girls. So at the end of the day, we were asked to do some tests at Noguchi. By then, Professor Nkrumah was the head. And we did it for several times, and then he called us. She wanted to have a look at the children. We took them, and he told us if we can pray, we should better go and pray. So if it gets to that level, you can imagine. And this was almost 2 years. Some advised me to stop work and take care of the children. And I told myself, no, I think I will make it. So I take them to Kolebu early in the morning. Sometimes one will be at Nyaho, one will be at Kolebu, and I will still come to work. As for queries, I have a lot on my file. Because by the time I come back, I pack these children downstairs and I climb upstairs and I go there. Where have you been? Your boss has been looking for you. Your boss has been looking for you. And then the query will follow. So one day, I went out with one of the officers. I told him, I'm not able to, I can't drive that day, so he should help me. So we went to Kolebu with the kids. And from morning till about 12 o'clock, they were looking for blood sample for test. They couldn't get it. So we had to come back. So as soon as we got back, the gentleman walked upstairs to my boss and told my boss that if I had some leave, you should give me that leave to go. Because apparently what I was going through, nobody had any idea. I've just mentioned to him that. Then he said, okay, if that's the case, he will help me out. And that he knew somebody at Kintampo who can take care of those children. Because if that person says that he will die today, he believes it. So he followed up, came to the house and told my husband that we should take the kids to that place. And my husband, also being a minister of God, said that no, God gave us the 3 children, and if God decides that he wants to take away the children, this is not the time that he will compromise his faith. So he cannot do that. Now you have a problem, your boss wants to help you, you say you don't need that help. So you have wasted your plight. And from then on, it was too much. I did not stop. At the end of the day, I lost the second child. Yeah. But it was surprisingly after that, friendly, I was told when he was dying, he said that the daddy is there, daddy get up, I'll die for you and my sisters. No, that kind of things. And then after the death of that child, the rest, mysteriously got better. Because by then they were in JSS. One was in JSS, one was in primary. Even when we get to the school, the kids know. So they will just come and take their bag. When I'm leaving for the office, I'll just put their food there. When the driver takes them back home, they will just sit by the table and eat, wait till we come back from work. My husband was by then also working with Ministry of Finance, and we'll have to leave them. Then we'll go back. They will be sitting down around the table. Till we will get back home. We had to go through this for 2 years after I've lost one. I'm adding this because as women, there are so many obstacles that stand our way for moving forward. The other time I was speaking at a banking college and a lady came to me that, Madam, I had even planned to resign next week. But because of what you are telling me, I think because he had a child that was sick and she was going through it. While she was talking, she was weeping. She was going through it. But my sisters, nobody should tell herself that because of challenge, because of obstacle, I want to resign and go home. Your husband will be able to provide for you. But I believe that as you are working now, that you can dip your hands in your pocket to buy what you need. It wouldn't be as if you asking your husband to give you something. He gives you today, he can give you tomorrow, he can give you the next day with the supplies. No woman should do that. I advise young women, no matter what, strive, work for yourself. There are challenges. Face it. Other women have faced it, and they have been able to make it. We had I instituted a National Rural Banking National Conference last year, and our guest speaker was the former Deputy Governor, Madame Elsie Abaji. So after we finished and we sat down, I said, Auntie Comfort, talk to your ladies. Most of us want to become like us today, but they don't want to go the hard way. And you can't have anything on a silver platter. Let me tell you, the men have taken the lead already. They have taken the lead for a long time. And when I was reading the report, they said globally it will take about 131 years or something for us to catch up globally. We have a long way to go. So we need to work harder. We need to work harder. Tell yourself, I want to make it. Me, when I started working, all that I knew is that when you become a private secretary, that ends it, because stenographer, those days, even before you even become a stenographer, it was a bit difficult. And then the highest that you can go is to become an administrative officer. I didn't even have anybody to counsel you, to let you know that you can take this route, you can take this route. And today, you can even sit at the comfort of your home and have a course at the university. You are blessed. Some of you just started with degree, first degree, second degree. Some are even having 3 degrees. In our time, it wasn't like that. And things were so manual, but you have to go through it. Nobody here should tell me, or nobody working. Okay, I think I'll put this one here and then we'll continue.
Yes, Auntie Comfort. I'll suggest to MD that we need women to man IT for us now and see if we can find a difference. And see if we can get a difference. We'll look for women to man IT for us. I think that's just by the way. Auntie Comfort has spoken about some biases that we face along the line. So I'm sure each and every one of us has jotted it down. But she has summed it up for us. That we shouldn't be worried, we shouldn't be afraid, we shouldn't say we are not going to continue. It's life. Sometimes in life happens. You must be able to pick up the pieces, work hard at it, know what you want, and make it. I have taken it. I think each and every one of us should take it. Auntie Comfort, it's question time now. I have one question for you. Can you tell us how women can prioritize self-care and maintain a good health work-life activity so that they can face society's expectations? How do we balance that as young women coming up? Work, healthy life balance, keeping children and all that. How do we go around that?
That's very important. It's a good question. Because as I sit here, if I wasn't healthy, could I have been able to be here this morning? How about yourself? And these days, you talk about BP, diabetes, and other diseases and sicknesses are on their ascendancy. And that tells us you need to take care of yourself. I can say that having suffered breast cancer has helped me to take good care of myself. I've come to realize that what you eat, that's a lot with your body. Exercise, very important. And your way of thinking, also very important. You are a professional woman. You have to get up early and rush to the office. You might have not even taken in anything. So you come to the office You are hungry. Let me get a Coke or some drink. These days, you have 100% sugar-free. As to whether they are sugar-free or not sugar-free, that one you cannot tell. You sit down in the air conditioning office. You get down, by God's grace, you have your vehicle, you sit into it, you get in there, air conditioning is there. You even get to the house, the air conditioning is there. You are tired. You sit in the sofa, and if you don't take care, you can't even go and have your bath. You sleep, and you get up the following morning. You don't even have helpers. You have to rush, take care of the children, put them in the car, take them to school. Those of us, sometimes we were even having our quiet time in the vehicle. If you don't take care, one day you will break down. And you cannot come to work again. By the next day you come, somebody will be taking up your position. So first of all, I will say that let us plan our time. If you plan your time very well, you manage your time very well, you'll be able to take care of yourself. And you should prioritize your activities. You should prioritize your activities. Try and get up early. If you get up early in the morning, you'll be able to at least do 30 minutes walk. Or try and get a stationary bike at home. You can sit on it for about 15 minutes. Or a step up. You can use it for your cardio for about 15 minutes in the morning. Small liftings. You get up and you realize that your body is strong. Plan yourself. I will use 30 minutes to do this. I will use 20 minutes to bath my children and pack their food and all that. So in the evening when you go, if there is something that you can do, you do it. And if you think that you haven't gotten that strength to do it, you don't have to stress up yourself so much. Please do try and get a helping hand. It's very important. You can't be a corporate woman and do everything by yourself. If your mom is there and is helping you, thank God for that. Your mom may also not be too strong, so you get a helper to help your mom, because the kids will be running around and your mother is not that energetic to be able to do that for you. If your mother is like me, I'm 64, but I'm still running around with my grandchildren. That one, maybe you, but even sometimes you still need a helper. And then let me look at what I'll eat. Taking vegetables and fruits should be part of your diet, even greater part of your diet. Limiting fat food, oil, they are all very important. Sugary food, pastries, fast food, because that is what we can get as fast as possible for us to be able to go on. After my treatment, I have particularly been living on, I eat everything. If I don't tell you, if you give me kotodwe and rice right now, I will take it. If you give me whatever, I will take it. But I get up early in the morning, I take my warm water. If it's 2 cups, 3 cups, I take it before I even start my exercise, my walk, or whatever I want to do, for at least for about 30 minutes. Then I do the stretching. After that, I prepare smoothies. What is it? Sometimes, whatever I have, sometimes I take dandelion. You get it? Some are even in your houses. We don't even respect them. I put dandelion, bitter leaves together. If you want something that is sweet, that's a different thing altogether. But if you want to be healthy, forget about that. As for me, if I consider the pains that I have gone through and the bitter drugs that I have taking bitter leaf and dandelion and those things, to me, with my tongue, I don't even see, I don't even feel it. So I add that one. If it is spinach, and those green, I put them together. I add apple, cucumber, I blend, and I'll take it. Sometimes when I take a cup full of it, it's like, even in the afternoon, if I haven't eaten it, I wouldn't feel that I have not taken in anything. Pineapple, I blend it with ginger, I'll drink it. If I have watermelon, I'll add mango. Any fruit that I get, I take it. And it makes you full. If I get jollof rice and chicken and I'm taking in the afternoon and you come and see me taking jollof rice and chicken, you might think that, oh, this woman, oh no, when you have breast cancer, you're doing OD. But I have put down that foundation. And that also most often allows you to get a free vow. And sometimes you take it and you feel very strong. When you look at my big sister, for instance, she's very fat, because in our family, you can be fat if you choose to. But if you look at me, I'm not slim, but I could be 3 times like this. But because of what I take in, and the conscious exercise that I have been, going through, it is helping me. So please, let's manage our time well. If you manage your time, you'll be able to do all these things. And be cautious about what you take in, and don't take exercise for granted. Putting all these things together, it will help you. And also, let's not be overthinking about so many issues. You come to the office, little thing that somebody has done to you, a whole world is coming to an end upon your life. You did something, your boss called you and spoke with you in a way that he never speak to that lady like that. Look at the way she's talking to me. As for me, in this department, I don't know what to do. I think I'll ask for transfer. You are asking for transfer. Where you are going to meet people. Let's not think too much. Brood over issues too much. Have a lot to think all the time. So much so that you go to sleep, you can't even sleep. I know sometimes when you have work, it happened to me. You are asleep and you are thinking. You get up, an idea comes to mind, you get up and go and write it. I know how you're going to get up and go early in the morning. I used to travel a lot because our banks are dotted around the country. I get up, I put my bag down. When I take it, my grandchildren will say, hey, grandma, you are going again. As for my husband, I got to a point when I tell him I'm traveling, he wouldn't mind me, he wouldn't even respond. But I made sure I was doing whatever I have to do for him as a husband. Take care of that. And then I'll go. Because I have to go. You have your mother to take care of. You have your family to help. You don't have to depend upon your husband. If they will do that for you, praise the Lord. But I believe that if your mother called first time, second time, third time, and you are still telling your husband will be fed up. Oh. Don't you think so? If every responsibility is on him, and he also falls, what happens to you? If tomorrow he gets to work and he doesn't come back, what happens to you? We had long-term goal. At least we don't come from Accra, we all came from the village. At least getting a house in Accra to start with, getting one in his hometown, he's the man, and getting one at my hometown, I'm the woman. Always coming last. But after getting one here and one from his own town, I wouldn't tell you what happened next. But thank God, because I didn't give up, I was also able to make it, at least to have my own. And I can say it's my own. My sisters, you can have 5 vehicles in the house. If none is yours, the Bible says 2 are 1. But me now, I don't tell the girls that 2 are 1 in certain areas. My men are here, but I'm saying it indeed. Because when the vehicle is your own, and you pick a key and you are going to take it, you have that kind of confidence. When it's not yours, at least you should tell your husband that, Kwame, can I use this car for today? For him to tell you that, yes, you can use it. Am I lying? I may be lying. That is it. That is it. So please, let's manage ourselves very well. Think about ourselves. Don't die for anybody. If you die today, their life will go on. If you live today, the life of your family members will go on. You can help them all right. I'm somebody who cannot say no. Always my children will say that. But as I sit here, I've come to realize that no. I need to be able to say no where I don't have to say yes. And that will help me live. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uncle Comfort. That's very insightful. Very, very insightful. Ladies, let's plan our lives very well, eat well, exercise. I have a friend called Charlotte. We'll start walking. We have to start walking. We don't like walking. We will start walking. Now, question time. Questions from... Questions.
We want to really say a very big thank you to our dear moderator, Madam Cynthia Amelia Metefew and Auntie Comfort for how much you have taught us. We want to take questions from the audience for the next couple of minutes. If you have a question, we have our head of credit.
Okay, thank you so much. I've learned a lot, and at a point when you were talking about your children, I almost wanted to cry because I've been there. I remember when I joined Zenith Bank, my daughter will be sick. She will be on admission. I'll come to work. In the night, I'll go and sleep at the hospital. In the morning, I have to wake up. I mean, from the hospital straight home, dress up and come to the office as if nothing was happening. And so I can relate. I want to find out, you said when you joined the association, you had to fish for information. They were not readily available. And I want to know whether it was because you are a woman. Assuming it was a man in your position, would it have been that difficult? And you said that also when you go for rural bank meetings, you know, everything will be done without you being, recognized. I want to know whether it was because you are a woman, or it is just that, they will not recognize the work of the association. Thank you.
For the fishing of information and all that, we have a challenge as women. When I went in there, the director that I had to work under him, there was a little bit a problem. These things, we don't say it on camera. And sometimes when you say it, our men will not allow us. But sometimes I've also realized that if you wouldn't want to compromise your position in certain areas, it becomes difficult. And I had that challenge. At a point in time, case has to go to, my husband had to go to church to talk about certain issue. The council had to sit down and all that. So right from that time, you are not compromising your position. So these are some of the things that we will do to you as a woman. Maybe if I were a man, I wouldn't have gone through that. Because my subordinates who were given those opportunities to even do what I was supposed to do were all men. Okay? And they had those opportunities. So maybe because I was a woman, and because probably I also, you were seen as a threat, because some of them could read through the lenses and know that, no, this woman, if I give her opportunity, if I don't take her, she's going to overtake me. So let me suppress her. I think in my case, it was something like that. It was something like that. With regards to the rural banks, I think that, like I said, the image of the association wasn't at a certain level. It had really come down. So our own banks were not recognizing our impact. And I think that contributed to that. Because if, for instance, for the past 3 years, we have an AGM and we haven't seen anybody representing the association, but we have people representing the bank, of course, their name will be on the program and you will not be there, okay? So I have to force myself to go in there. And these are some of the things that we need to do. It isn't every time that somebody will call you, come and do this, come and do this. Some bosses will just give you an assignment. There are other things that added to it that you need to know. You will not come and tell you that do this or do that. You need to fish out. You need to go beyond the responsibility that has been given to you. You need to network with your colleagues. You are in a department and you are limited to that department. Even at your desk, you only talk to 2 or 3 people. There are other things that others are doing that you don't even have any idea of. What stops you when you have a little time, walk in that office or talk to that sister? This is your schedule. How do you go about it? You'll be learning. By the time, or if it happens that you are moved to that place, or it will get to a time, they will need somebody to get in there. Oh, somebody will then mention, oh, I know, this lady can do this. Despite the fact that he's been with this department for a long time, I think he's able also to add this to it, add this to it. Let's try her. They pick you and it worked. So it was hard work. This that I'm telling you as a story in a nutshell like this, it has not been easy for me to be able to come to that level where when you sit, you pick a phone, and sometimes even this, we depended on subscription. The subscription would not come. But as at the time that I was leaving, they themselves will call you. Madam, how much are we paying? We haven't received our letters. And quickly they will bring it. Why? Because they are getting to know the essence of the association, the impact is being felt, they are seeing you as a support, and that you've been able to deliver. So with that one, the recognition is there.
Thank you so much, Auntie Comfort. Please, do we have any other questions? Okay, so while we are waiting for the next question, Auntie Comfort, one of the statements that we hear a lot is a lot of bankers who are women end up not being able to have very successful marriages because of the time and effort that goes into banking. From the discussions that we've had with you today, we realize that you are still very happily married, and would want you to tell us, young people, as we are coming up, what are some of the things we can do to have a very successful work-life balance?
To be able to have a successful and work-life balance, and in your marriage, one, you have decided to get married. And you know that as a wife, you have a responsibility towards your husband, towards your children, towards your home. Here, planning will come in. And you should also have at the back of your mind that I have a husband to take care of, whether you like it. In our culture, you as a woman has responsibilities. Your husband expects that you take care of the home, the cleaning. They are supposed to help. If they do, fine. My husband, for instance, even when I deliver and I'm on bed, he can come and pull up all those things, go and wash them and do those things. And the nurses will be surprised. At home, he will help. But even it got to a point that when I took up this responsibility, things changed a bit. So tell yourself, marriage is very important. I quite remember we had a program at GIMPA on women and development. And we visited the parliament. And one of the women, Mrs. Samele Teigo, I think she's no more. Yeah. She told us, my ladies, you see us here, you think we are happy. We are not all that happy, because we are single and we need men at this time. But we've left our men because we thought that we were pursuing our career. Now we need the men, they are not there. You will need them. So just plan yourself very well. Have at the back of your mind that this is my husband. My husband will have to take breakfast before he leaves for the office. What would I do to be able to make that breakfast available? Yes, he has to help. He can help. At least if it is a pot of water that you put down there or something, and then tell him that these are the things that are prepared. There is this one, a little salad in the fridge. You can take it. And then you go. You come back home. In the afternoon, maybe if he's in the house, he has to eat. At least over the weekend, try and prepare your food. Put them in the fridge. If there is microwave, they say it's not good. But whatever it is, it's not good for us. Yeah, somehow I think it's true. Because after doing the radiation, when I got to the kitchen and they switch on the microwave, I feel it in my, yes, with a distance, but I felt it. Initially, I didn't know what was happening. But I got to know that, I tried it and I got to know that it was the microwave. So if it has that kind of impact on the human being like that, then if they are telling you there's something wrong with it, that will be fine. But what I'm saying is that your responsibility as a wife, you cook, you wash. You are not supposed to do this alone. But if you are not lucky to have a man who will assist you, get a house help. They also have their challenges. But try as much as possible to plan your life. Have, plan it in such a way that you'll be able to take care of your husband. You get home, you are late, you are tired, you get into bed, and your husband will come around. Will you be telling him always you are tired? At least you also have to meet that kind of responsibility, whether you like it or not. So you psych up your mind that I will do this, I will do that. And make sure your home is neat. Your things are well organized so that when you need something, you can get it in no time. If you don't organize yourself well, the bed is sakatu, the kitchen, everything. That's not English word. So you go in there, you are looking for even a saucepan, and you have to go around. You put your wig somewhere. You have to look around today. Before you leave in the evening, you should know that tomorrow I'm using this wig. So you go and put it down there. Your hankies are well packed. Your undies are well packed. Your husband things are well packed. So that home is arranged very well. And things, you use lesser time in doing things, and it helps you. And you should also know that when you are tired, you are tired. Even if you need 30 minutes to put down your hair, please do that. After that 30 minutes, you get up and you could see that your strength has come back. Sometimes you want to do everything. At the end of the day, you can't even stand on your feet. You go and lie down and you can't sleep because the body is so tired. Please, let's organize ourselves. You are a wife, you are married, you need to take care of your husband. Whether he will help you or he will not help you, you do what you can do to sustain your marriage. When you have time, spend time with your husband and your children. Thank you so much.
At this juncture, we would want to hand over to, okay, I've been told I can, and we have our Audrey, head of Premier Towers, wanting to ask a question.
Thank you very much. It's a good point that you actually said that it's not bad to have help. If it's a chef you need, it's a cleaner, it makes you plan your life very well. And you look young for your husband and yourself, and you feel good when you are healthy, and it's very important. So my question is, how do we actually bring this down to our daughters, our teenagers? How do we incorporate this with this changing dynamics? How do we help them fit into these changes? Thank you.
To help our young ones, right from the time they are born and as you are raising them. My first daughter, she also has 3 girls. So when you come to my house, we don't have a boy. But I told them, I don't expect them to behave like there's no boy in the house, and no, they do everything. As for the small one, she's a medical doctor, but her behavior and everything's like a man. Right from the right from the time you are bringing them up, you should let them know their responsibilities. Now, my grandchild, the first one is 10, the second one is 9, and the third one is 7. They all have their responsibility, their chores at home. Even before they go to school, I get up, we live in the same compound, they are in another story building. You see them, the small one with the mop, mopping the corridor. Another one washing the dishes. Sometimes they finish and come and see that if I have something for them to do for me before they go to school. And they are doing it. So whilst they are doing it, it's becoming part and parcel of their lives. The younger ones, I must tell you now, are very lazy. They are very, very lazy. I had a girl I adopted, and she'll go to school and come. You go into her bedroom, and even her panties, she has packed them. We should let them know their responsibilities as younger people, being a boy or girl. And if you have boys, tell them that train them in such a way that they can also take responsibilities at home. It's not only the women, it's not only the young ladies. The boys are also to be trained, to inculcate that kind of thing into them. You teach them how to cook. If she gets to the university and nobody is there, he had traveled outside. He will still have to find something to eat. Let us start with them from our homes, even with what we eat. My grandchildren like this, now they take the greens. They know when you take vegetable, it helps you. The small one will come, Mommy, I need carrot. I want to take this. I want to take cucumber. So it has become part and parcel of their life. So they are growing with it. I didn't grow up like that. It's because of my predicament that has changed me and has made me live like I have to live, which has helped me. So let's begin to teach them and talk to them. Gather the young ladies. In my church, I'm a Baptist. We have the Young Ladies Association. For over 20 years, I was taking care of them. You call them, you sit them down, you talk to them. You mentor them. Even those of us here, let's mentor ourselves so that we can pull ourselves together. We can pull ourselves up. If you are up there, try. Men are already there. Men, we are not fighting you. Let's work side by side with them. You know, when we started this gender issue, what we were doing was, it was like we were fighting them. If we fight them, we will lose them. But if we let them feel that they are part of us, we are not trying to overtake them. We are working side by side with them. That doesn't mean that if you get to a point where you think you can overtake, you don't overtake. But over there, they are kakra, and they will help. We need them. They are bosses, we need them. They are husbands, we need them. They are uncles, we need them. So please, let's be conscious about that and train them. And when we are able to do that, small, they will come up.
Thank you so much, Auntie Comfort. We'll take the last question from my colleague here.
Hello, Auntie Comfort. Thank you very much. This is very, very inspiring to me, and I think you're a superwoman. I really admire your courage, your resilience. It means a lot, and it's a great opportunity that you came here to speak to us. And my question is that, what's the most valuable leadership lesson you've learned from your experience? Maybe through your failure, something that we could also take home from your, let's say, failure. We can also learn something from it. Thank you.
I think the most valuable thing that I have learned is humility. Humility. To humble yourself. If you humble yourself, you'll be able to win the heart of many. Those who even do not like you. And you'll be able to learn a lot. You should have a teachable heart. There are some of us, certain jobs, when it's given to us in the office, we feel they are below us. So we don't even understand why at our level we should be asked to do this or to do that. The other time I was telling some young lady, she went to the university, she went to Legon, one of my daughters. And those days she called me, Mommy, I've just started work and they've given me those days an electronic typewriter. Then I said, Esther, do you know what? Sit behind it and work with it. Right now, as I'm talking, he has finished with her PhD. And he's a lecturer at IPS. She started as a typist. Any menial job that will be given to you in the office, do it. After all, you are learning. Don't be so bossy. No, but the ben obey me. He's not been here for long, but there's something that she knows that you do not know. Like I said, your boss will tell you something that you feel, oh, what is it? After all, what is it? No. Sometimes they will look at your face. I quite remember when I told you I was typing minutes. And when they were besides me, if I should change a word or a sentence, whatever has been given to me, I have to write it. They will use red pen to do the correction. Sometimes I'll type it 5 times. When it gets to the boardroom, I'm not there. The corrections, while it's going on, it is you who type it. That is what. One day I was at the reception, a woman, a board of director, a woman, she walked to the reception. I was standing there. But you, Comfort, what have you done? Look at the minutes that we are looking at. For the past almost an hour, we are looking at minutes. Why? Don't you have sense? And the drivers and those things were at the reception. You can imagine. But what do? I'm not there to say anything. I can't leave the job because I have a focus. I have a purpose of being there. I want to achieve my objective. I want to get there to the end. This is an obstacle. One day I may be able to get to the meeting and I'll write the minutes myself. And after I have produced my work, they will get to know whether I'm good or bad. And that day came. I was called to come and write the minutes. And the first day, that ended it. That ended it. So if I had decided that I won't even type, so type in I would have even lost the job, right from the beginning. So let's be humble. And let's take responsibilities. Any assignment that will be given to us, if you don't know, ask somebody else and you'll be able to make it. Once somebody has been able to do that work, you should be able to do it. Who knows that per that work, that thing is going to take you somewhere. Let's not be proud. Let's calm down. And let's take teamwork very seriously. Are you the type that when you are joined to the team, a team, they will wish you were not around? If you are not an island. Once you are in office, you should be able to work with the team. Our character, things that we do, the way we go about things, that will help us. You may have all the qualifications, but I tell you, if your character is not good, you cannot get up there. You will even get there, but you'll be brought down. So let's take these things very seriously, and it will help us.
We will now take remarks from the father of the house, our indefatigable MD CEO, Mr. Henry Oruzurigo.
Thank you, Auntie Comfort. My Zenith ladies. Oh, yeah, Kwame, you are a lady, yeah, today. I can see, at least I'm not the only man here, Yeah, I mean, tomorrow is International Women's Day, right? And I sincerely want to thank, let me start by appreciating everybody. I learned that our Zoom has to crash, so they have to put it off. But we are online via YouTube, right? So both people watching on YouTube and other social media platforms, I want to, and my indefatigable Zenith ladies here present, I want to thank you all. Today is a working day. As me, it wasn't a working day, and they have targets to meet. That's why it looks as if some seats are empty. Because I will ask them on Monday where their targets are. And one thing about Zenith ladies is, before here, I joined online my group office. They started their own session. So I joined them online before coming in here. People say a whole lot of things. At times, when they say all those things, I say, does this apply to Zenith? Because Zenith is one institution where, as far as I've been in Zenith for 28 years, so when I'm talking about Zenith, I'm talking from institutional memory and knowledge. I think it's not one institution where everybody has equal opportunity to attain any position. Our group MD is a woman today. Our chairman here, chairperson of our board, Frida Duplan, is a woman. We have other members of the board who are women. Our ESCO, we have women. And our group heads, the next line to our ESCO, we have 2 women and 2 men. And I was just looking at my reports, and I realized that we seem to have even more women in Zenith than men. And that's the fact. And I can tell you one thing for sure. Most of my best performing branch head and sector heads are women. You said a whole lot of things, and I always like, when I'm given this opportunity to talk to women, you guys know me very well. I always like to look at the people that have been very successful in what they do. I have a Nigerian, a typical Nigerian, who is not too flashy in her dressing, but she has attained a position that most people will do anything to attain. Her name is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Is the first woman all over the world to be Director General of World Trade Organization. Is a woman. Right? So, if you are sitting here saying you are a woman, you have your biases, you have your nuances, I don't really know what you are looking at. You are talking about accelerating action. You say winning on all fronts. Winning on all fronts. The question I always ask you as a lady, what are your fronts where that you have to win on? What are your fronts? If you define your front, you walk towards winning it. And I bet you, with everything that Auntie Comfort has told us today, look at somebody that is here. I almost started shedding tears when she talked about her life odysseys, what she has passed through. Some of you, mere headache. Mere headache, you have given up. You've given up. It's true. And so many of us always look for simple, can't they excuse me? Don't they know that I'm a woman? It's you that tells your dad that you're a woman. Why? Who told you that because you're a woman you have to belittle yourself? Who told you? Who told you? You know, Ellen Johnson, that was the president of Liberia, right? She said something one day. She said, what are your dreams? If your dreams are not scary to you, then it's not pushing you. What do you dream? What are your dreams? If they are not scary, if you are just looking for a soft landing always, then it's not pushing you. You need to push yourself to a limit. So many buzzwords that are associated with this accelerating action: equality, equity, empowerment. A question I ask myself or some people: what is the difference between equality and equity? You know, it's like you have a shoe. Equality means make sure everybody here has a shoe, right? Equity means that make sure the shoe fits everybody. Now, some people might have shoe, you've given them shoe, but the shoe is big size. They can't wait. But when you talk about it, it makes sure it fits each and everybody. Then empowerment. Who empowers you? Look at what she told us today about how she was able to withstand challenges. Are you going to have challenges? You will have it. I can tell you without mincing words. Even if you say, we just did woman to woman, MD said this, after that there are no challenges. There will be more challenges. There will be more challenges. But you must stand firm. Amelia raised an issue. She talked about resilience. You guys think it's only, I was just talking to her. There is a very big issue we've been managing in the past 2 weeks. I just told her it has just been solved. And I know so many calls and what everybody said. People wanted to kill me because of it, or say women because of it. But my eyes and everything were more focused on what we want to achieve. And I will sleep very well this weekend. That's a fact. You know, there is this inner joy that comes whenever you achieve a purpose that you set out to achieve. It's an inner joy. Like I said, I took some of the last words she used. She talked about being humble, taking responsibility, take teamwork very seriously. And she says the last thing, your character. Your character. You see, Madam Comfort, as I want to say, sorry, I know there are all women here, but when they talk about barriers, biases, I think women most times are their worst enemies. I find it difficult. Sorry, I know from where I sit, I see a lot of things. I'm engaged in a lot of things. I see at times, I want to promote a woman, and another woman will say, don't promote her. And I say, what is the problem? No, at times I ask, what are people fighting for? I don't understand. If you come to a working organization, I can tell you authoritatively, go and look for staff that don't talk to each other. There are more women. Men don't have problem. Oh. They don't have any problem. So, I asked a question this morning in Lagos. I said, look, why is it that we are all here talking about how women, yes, men by their nature always believe that women are the second sex or for whatever reason. But the truth of the matter is that when it comes to, at times, giving recognition, women find it difficult appreciating their fellow women. Not all women, no. Some of them, majorly. And so, as we are celebrating International Women's Day, taking it home, I think we need to loosen up a little bit and find out that there is really nothing we are fighting over. We are in this thing together. Encourage each other to grow. When you see your fellow woman attending a higher position, be happy for the woman. Your fellow colleague will attend a higher position and you are grumbling because she's a woman. Why is it not me? It will get to your turn. I always tell people that if you are living in a place and you learn that Christ has visited your neighbor there, be very happy because he's very close to your house. So be very happy when your colleagues, especially your women colleagues, achieve success. If women support women the way they are supposed to, I think all these barriers that men are putting everywhere will reduce. I don't really know what the population is in Ghana, men to women, but in Nigeria, I just learned during the last population that women are more than men in Nigeria. In every work, I have my record here in Zenith. The number of women and the number of men. And the same thing goes everywhere. Please, let's support ourselves. Let's know that we actually create the limits or the barriers for ourselves. Be very, very open and you will achieve whatever you intend to achieve. I said winning on all fronts, identifying what's your front. Your front might not be my front. You need to identify what is your front and focus on it. Do the best you can do. Make sure you stay on course and we will all be winners. For Zenith, we have the Azir Women Initiative, which is still working. We have even partnered with what we call African Guarantee Fund to make sure that we support women-based businesses, empower them, and give them necessary security so that they can thrive. Currently, that's why Kwame is here. She's here too. We are working with MasterCard Foundation, also trying to make sure that women in business actually get the necessary support that they deserve to make sure that they thrive. One person was speaking this morning. He said that, why is it that when you talk about wealth, that you don't normally find women in that sphere? That women believe that the only thing they have to achieve is buy bag, buy hair, buy this and buy this. But when you talk about wealth, they believe that wealth is for men. Who told you? No. I'm very happy you raised the issue of trying to fend for yourself, acquire property. So you are working. We don't do discriminatory salary here. If you are a senior manager, it's the same money the man is paid that you are paid. How come you have 2 senior managers? And the men, the woman expect that the man should bring everything more than, oh, why? No, why? Why? You are the same, you earn the same. If you work harder, I'm here, you people know me, you will get the better bonus than the man. Because of what, so, and you know, go back, you know, they said a relationship that it's man that provides, it's a lie. It's a lie. Everybody must bring something to the table. They ask you, what are you bringing to the table? You know the responses from most people. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. So I think I want to thank you for today. For us, we are quite committed. For the entire people watching virtually and everywhere, please, this is just a refresher, an awakening for all of us, celebrating International Women's Day, to know the pivotal role that the women, not just in the workplace, but in the entire life, plays in the existence of us as beings. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, MD CEO. We are most grateful and honored for your word of wisdom as always. We want to say a very big thank you to our Z Women online and even our male customers as well who supported us by watching through YouTube and Zoom. At this juncture, we want to also appreciate our guest speaker, Auntie Comfort, for taking time off your busy schedule to come and speak to us and encourage us. We thank our moderator as well. At this time, we would ask our moderator and our guest speaker to take their seats as we prepare to take our photographs.
Dear woman.
So please, while we are waiting for the setup to be changed, we just want everyone here to know that accelerating action for International Women's Day today, the pose is this. So when we say the accelerating action pose, I don't know whether we can just
women in Ghana are driving the growth of our economy and creating better lives for themselves and for those around them. Zenith Bank sees you and applauds each one of you. Mama, the Commander-in-Chief, steering affairs at home, we see you. Madam at the top running that business or consultancy, we salute you. Sister managing the delivery service, we applaud you. Sister who farms to ensure there is food on our tables, you motivate us. Madam with the online shop, you inspire us. Auntie with the shop in Makola, Ayiko. Because of you, we have created Z Woman to enhance your needs and enhance your lives. Z Woman gives you a host of e-banking solutions and rewards just for being you. Z Woman sets you up for success in every sphere of your journey. With Z Woman, you get access to digital tools, investment packages, healthcare education, wealth management services, entrepreneurial support, and so much more. So, Madam, Boss, CEO, Mama, join the League of Extraordinary Women today. Be a Z Woman. Rise with us. Zenith Bank, in your best interests. Dear woman, Zenith Bank sees you. Everywhere you look, women are anchoring families, raising future leaders, and championing businesses in Ghana. From homes, shops, street corners, junction stores, companies to government, women in Ghana are driving the growth of our economy and creating better lives for themselves and for those around them. Zenith Bank sees you and applauds each one of you. Mama, the Commander-in-Chief, steering affairs at home, we see you. Madam at the top running that business or consultancy, we salute you.
Sister managing the delivery service, we applaud you. Sister who farms to ensure there is food on our tables, you motivate us. Madam with the online shop, you inspire us. Auntie with the shop in Makola, Ayiko. Because of you, we have created Z Woman to enhance your needs and enhance your lives. Z Woman gives you a host of e-banking solutions and rewards just for being you. Z Woman sets you up for success in every sphere of your journey. With Z Woman, you get access to digital tools, investment packages, healthcare education, wealth management services, entrepreneurial support, and so much more. So, Madam, Boss, CEO, Mama, join the League of Extraordinary Women today. Be a Z Woman. Rise with us. Zenith Bank, in your best interests. Dear